Hey guys, I hope this video finds you and your family safe and well. And we are deep into the holiday season, and I know that it definitely feels very off this year. It's a very different kind of holiday season. Because of that, I like to do some traditional stuff, especially because of that, to make things feel a little bit pseudo-normal again. And one of those things is last year I showed you guys that when I was a kid, my mom would make this homemade Christmas potpourri. And every time she started making it, we always knew as kids that it was almost Christmas. So now that's a tradition that we do in my house. So I got some groceries and I was putting them away, and I was kind of moving out some of the stuff that's kind of a little bit older. And I saw this old, orange that is pretty dried out and it's kind of getting wrinkled around the edges because of my kids. There's always like half cut pieces of fruit that are like drying and oxidizing on the counter. But the thing is I hate throwing that stuff away. So with this holiday potpourri, I also have this kind of dried rosemary. I'm just gonna chop this stuff and add it. So this is like holiday potpourri 2.0. So here we go. So all we're gonna do is take these things, break them up a little bit smaller, slice the orange and the apple, throw it in here with some water and put it on the stove. It is so easy and such a great tradition to do in your house. Oh God, even though that's really dry, it still smells beautiful. So a lot of times when my herbs dry out, I either will use them in a broth, or sometimes I chop them up and put them in like a little glass jar and just add them to my spices. But this one actually still smells really good. Okay, we are going to slice the orange just however you guys want to do it. Toss it in there. I'm gonna slice this one too because this one's like pretty old and smushy. This looks so beautiful. Look at that. So now we're just gonna add our spices. We're gonna add some whole cloves. Oh, so good. I love cloves. My cinnamon sticks look a little weird and dirty because when I'm baking with my daughter, I'll give her cinnamon sticks and whole nutmegs, and I'll have her play with these next to me while we're baking together. If it's something that's like something that she shouldn't really be doing, but I want her to be involved, tell your kid, the recipe calls for 8 nutmegs. Can you count how many are in the jar? And that's like a little game that we play. And it keeps her busy and works on her math skills. Okay. Fresh grated nutmeg is awesome. So this is just a microplane. It creates this beautiful fine grate. It's so pretty and it's so good. I don't really use store-bought ground nutmeg. I always get the whole one and use a microplane, probably because that's how I was taught, but it really does make a difference in terms of smell and taste. So that's like half a nutmeg. So it just grounds it in there. You just put it back for the next time you want to use it. So now I'm just going to add some cinnamon powder. Oh, I love cinnamon. Okay, so it's like a teaspoon. Okay, so now, I don't know if you guys can see how gorgeous this is. I love this rosemary and orange thing. I love when different kind of recipes come from happy accidents. This was just because I happened to be going out, going through my fridge to put my new groceries in. I actually have a lot of recipes that happen just because of something like that, just by happenstance. Look at that, awesome. Now we're just gonna fill it up with water till it's just like almost covering all the ingredients. Put it on the stove and let it smell up my house with its amazing aroma. That's pretty good. Okay, so here we go. It's funny because in this angle, you can see that I took off all of my oven knobs for childproofing. It's been like this for a while now, so I'm used to it. Okay, great. So we'll start it on high. As soon as it starts bubbling a little bit, then I'll lower it down to a simmer. And then you want to kind of keep it on a simmer until you see the steam come out. And it's going to smell so good. And you can stir it a little bit too, just to make sure it's all cinnamon dissolves. But as it boils, it'll do its job. So now that this is starting to boil, I wish you guys could smell this. It is so awesome. So now what I'm going to do is turn it down so it's a simmer. And I'll just leave, and I'll just leave this simmering on my stove and it'll smell up the whole house. It's so amazing. I love it. I hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to my channel and turn on notifications so you know when I put up another one, and I'll see you guys soon. Look at this. See this gorgeous, I wish you guys could smell this. It's so good. So now I'm gonna just walk this around my house like a little like frankincense thing. And the house smells like Christmas. It's beautiful.